boy has been smiling at the wall since he was a little boy. His father didn't think he was very bright, but from his point of view, there were many people playing with him. They were actually ghosts. On the day the boy was born, sucked to him by a mysterious force, he was never allowed to leave him more than 5 meters away. Luckily, the boy was not afraid of ghosts. He loved playing with them. They simply became ghost nannies. They took care of the boy with great love and care. It wasn't until after he went to school, the boy realized that the 4 people who were with him were all ghosts. Only he himself could see. So at the speech contest, the ghosts gave him words on the spot, so that he was able to speak with a great deal of eloquence, and made him the star of the class. After class, the boy hid in the toilet to sing and dance with the ghosts to celebrate, only to have the teacher find out, thinking he looked like a fool. After school, the ghosts took the boy to a horse race. The owner refused to sell the boy a ticket, so the ghosts taught him to play the poor boy.
Give me an old thing.
Okay.
And then the boy screwed his father. The child welfare department sent someone to investigate, suspected him of abusing the child. That night, the dad and mom got into a fight, insisted on sending the boy to a mental hospital. The boy who was hiding overheard, full of disbelief and aggression, and the ghosts realized their presence did make the boy always look like a self-talking freak. They decided to become invisible from now on, to let the boy return to his normal life. The boy begs them not to leave. The ghosts of Black's sister reassured him. They will watch over him silently in the unseen corners. Sister Black is teaching the boy how to face the parting. The young man does not yet understand, watching the ghosts disappear, and cried all night long. In the blink of an eye 20 years had passed. He grew into a man who looked like Iron Man, having long forgotten the ghosts. But what he didn't know was, wherever he went, they were actually with him, watching him work every day on the phone. It was both heartbreaking and helpless. Finally this day, Jack took time out to spend with his girlfriend. The ghosts were happy as old mothers. They were talking about their future daughter-in-law, and pasted up to their eyes, looking from all angles. Jack would never have guessed. His entire date became the scene of a collective spectacle of ghosts. And that's when one of the ghosts noticed something strange. A bus appeared out of thin air not far away. It turned out to be a special bus for the dead. It's a bus that takes the dead straight to heaven to be reincarnated. The driver was supposed to pick people up when they first died, but he'd misremembered the time. 20 years later it appeared. The ghosts are furious. You confused ghost. What a pest. To make amends, the driver offered, they can fulfill a last wish before reincarnation. How can they do that? The driver said, see that big live man over there? And it would be done, but only if he can see you. The ghost sprang into action, screaming frantically in Jack's ear, hoping that the ghost screamed for half a day. Jack didn't respond at all. Then the musician's ghost had an idea. Sing the song they taught him as a child. The 4 ghosts sang together, and as they sang it, Jack actually hummed along. It seems that, when a certain melody suddenly comes to our mind, it's likely that the ghosts are singing along.
Hope he doesn't take this badly.
Jack crashed straight into a flower bed and passed out. When he woke up from the hospital, 4 ghosts were gathered around his bed, scaring the hell out of him. He rubbed his eyes as hard as he could, to make sure it wasn't a hallucination. The ghosts he grew up with as a child had really returned. Jack scurried away. He no longer needed this special friendship, not to mention fulfilling the ghosts' last wishes for them. To force Jack's hand, the ghosts began to interfere with his work, making him look like a fool in front of his colleagues, even possessed him, making him scratch his head and flirt with his boss in meetings, giving the comrades a good look. The man was frightened by the manipulation, had to oblige the ghosts. The leather-clad ghost wanted to be the first to fulfill a last wish. He says he had been hired back in the day to steal a stamp from a boy's collection. The stamp was worth $100.
此句合成错误，请重试。
Afterwards he regretted it. He tried to get the stamps back to the boy. He ended up hanging up halfway through. Having said that, he was in a deep state of regret. I didn't know that the seemingly dodgy guy actually had a soft side. For ghosts alone soon arrived at that employer's house. The leather-clad ghost possessed Jack and went in to snatch the stamps. Although it was a bit of a scramble, but it managed to escape. Jack then followed the instructions of the ghost in leather and left the stamps in front of the boy's house. Now he's a father. He still recognizes the stamp from his childhood. He exclaims with excitement, there is nothing more healing than helping someone to mend a childhood gap. All the ghosts in the room and the bitter Jack laughed heartily. At dusk that day, they sang and danced together as they had done 20 years before. For a rare moment Jack let go of his adult baggage, free as he had been as a child. It was at this wonderful moment, the bus to take the dead show. This ghost has just fulfilled his last wish, and was taken away from his soul, on the bus to reincarnation, to bid farewell to the dead, to welcome a new life. The world goes round and round. Next up is the musician's ghost. His last wish is simple. It was to sing in front of an audience. In life he was nervous and had low self-esteem. He lost his voice as soon as he stepped on stage. He comes backstage and he flinches again. The other 2 ghosts pushed him straight onto the stage. For him to possess Jack, facing the audience, he mustered up a lot of courage and began to sing. His former bandmates heard the song. With their teary frames, he grabbed his guitar to accompany him, as if he knew that this was his old friend who had passed away. And this inspires the musician's ghost even more. He sang a rousing rendition. The audience cheered and applauded. He finally made the most perfect curtain call on stage. Without any regrets, he boarded the ghost train into the next cycle of life. But Jack was out of luck, for barging on stage and causing a disturbance, was taken away by the police, spent the night in the police station. He was released after a long time. Jack was in a hurry to finish his wish too. Finally find his son for the ghost of Black's sister accidentally hit someone else's car. He got out of the car and saw that it was no one else. It was the policeman from earlier. The two of them were speechless. At this awkward moment, the policeman's wife came to him with the baby in her arms. The child was crying. The policeman had to sing to coax him first. This instantly jogged the memory of Sister Black's ghost. She had made up this song herself. She had only sung it to her son. Could this black policeman be her son? Sister Black hurriedly asked Jack to confirm the name, surname, hometown. Even the neighbors were matched up. That's right, that's him. It's been a long time coming. She possessed Jack. She went up to the policeman and hugged him, and in the darkness the policeman seemed to sense. Mom was close by. I never left you. The ghost of Sister Black's last wish was also fulfilled. She bade Jack one last time. Don't be too busy, too tired. Don't neglect your family. Then got into the ghost car, and leaves full of love for the world. Next comes the last wish of the beautiful ghost. She writes a love letter in Jack's hand. It turns out, back then her boyfriend proposed to her, but she turned him down because she was afraid of marriage, until she realized she really loved her boyfriend. Just got into a car accident on the way to him. Now Jack comes to her door with this love letter. Will make up for her eternal regret, but who knows, it's not an old friend who opens the door, but a strange man. This man said the original owner had died 7 years ago. In an instant, Xiaomei's world collapsed. The love she had never declared could never let her boyfriend know again. Even Jack was angry. Why had fate been so unkind to her? Why was she the only one whose last wish could not be fulfilled? Jack shouted at the driver of the ghost car, not to let the driver take her away. At this point, May was relieved instead. She understood. It was the will of the heavens, to use her experience to tell Jack, to tell the world, to cherish those in front of her. Don't let the fear of being hurt. Don't be afraid to open your heart to someone else. Don't give up what you have just because you're afraid of losing it. Don't push away the one who loves you again and again. I hope you can live the life I dream of. With blessings, Xiaomei goes away without regret. I'll come for you.